Are you stuck on creating a marketing plan for your business? Have you ever created one before? Have you even thought about creating one? Or has it just been such an overwhelming thought that you thought, I don't need it. I'll just wing it. I wanted to talk to you today about a marketing plan because it is so important for your business. If you don't have a plan in place, then how do you know where you're going? And how do you know when you get there? It's just like our traditional roadmap, right? What I wanted to do today is kind of give you the basic, the minimum of what you need to do in your marketing plan, which actually covers a little bit of the business plan too, what I'm going to share today. So stay tuned, stick around. I really think that this is super important and something that all entrepreneurs and even business owners who haven't really done much of that planning yet, it's all been kind of winging it and doing things as they show up. It is always a good time to focus on that marketing plan. Even if you've done one in the past, take a look at it again and see if any changes and adjustments need to be made. So just to let you know who I am Susan Friesen with eVision Media, and it's my goal to show you tips and strategies on how to help market your business so that you don't have to be so overwhelmed and confused by so much misinformation that is out there right now. And it is out there. Trust me. I just had somebody email me yesterday asking me a question about, I heard that it's no longer necessary to put your social media icons on your website. And I'm going, who the heck told you that? And this person really thought that they were telling the truth. That's why I do these e-tips, to help you get through all of that clutter and give you the straight goods. I've been in this industry for 20 years, so there's a few things that I can definitely share with you to help you on your business path. Do you have a marketing plan? If you haven't, then you are in the perfect place. And so if you know of anybody else who has been struggling with a marketing plan, struggling in their business in general, because it's possible that they didn't put together a marketing plan, please give me a like and share this to your social media followers so that they can get this valuable information that I'm about to share. Okay, deal. All right. So as I said, it's really hard to run a business without some sort of a plan in place. It's really tough to get clients and sales if you don't have a plan in place on how to get those clients and sales, right? It makes sense. And think in terms of this. If you don't have a plan, it's possible that you're kind of feeling uncertain. You don't know where to move, and you're kind of preventing yourself from taking any big steps forward. So a marketing plan will actually give you the confidence that you need in order to be solid in what your plan is and how to achieve your goals. The first thing that you want to do in your marketing plan is do some market research. Now, don't freak out on me. This is not, you having to go to the library and pore over all the stats of the historic data from your city or whatever. What I'm going to tell you is just, this is the basics of what you need to do. It really is the backbone of any kind of a marketing plan. It forms the foundation. If you don't do this market research, then you're toast. You don't really know even if you have a viable business. And though that's what you want to do, you want to find out, is there any demand for the product or service that you're creating? Are people actually willing to spend money on it? And that's a tough one to, kind of wrap around our heads. I mean, we probably would purchase our own product or service, but is there enough people out in the world or in your local geographic area, if you are creating, a business that is more geographically based, is there enough of a demand to actually sustain a business for you? But also part 2 to that is, are they willing to pay? There's lots of times when somebody say, I wish I had this, and I wish I had that. But when it came down to the nuts and bolts of it, are they actually willing to pay to get this or that? Is it high enough in their priority list to fork out the cash in order to get whatever it is that you're offering. It's not that you can't, create a business around that, but your marketing strategy would be completely different if it's just a wish list item as opposed to something that somebody really needs or really wants to have. And then it's also important to understand who your competition is. It's pretty tough to find something out there nowadays that doesn't have any kind of competition, but you do need to know who that competition is. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about competition as part of the marketing plan, but at least from an overview perspective, find out, okay, what kind of competition is there out there? And is the market saturated already? Is there room for me to come in there and be a part of this industry or product or service that I'm offering? It's the difference between having something that you're very passionate about and actually creating a business, a sustainable business that will make you money. Okay. Then the second thing that you want to do is understand your target market. Now, I have talked about target markets many times because you just have to know who it is that is willing to spend money on your product or service. So who is it that wants what it is that you have to offer? Think in terms of a specific group of people. What is that group of people? Part of analyzing your target market, there's like two different sections. There's your demographics and your psychographics. So your demographics is your traditional stuff. Where do they live? What kind of age bracket are they in? What income bracket, are they within? And also, like sometimes a specific product or service is very industry centric, right? You might be thinking, oh, what I offer would be really, really helpful for specifically real estate agents or insurance, people in the insurance industry or people in the medical industry. So think in terms of that too, because all of that will help you define what your niche is, because the more specific you are on who it is that you want to target, more specific that niche, the easier your marketing message will be, the quicker and easier you will be able to relay your marketing message to that group. The second part is your psychographics. So the psychographics is kind of the mindset, the state of mind that this group of people would be in. What are they worrying about? What is, really getting them upset about? What would they be willing to spend money on in order to fix or overcome that? What problem or challenge are they having? So if you're a weight loss coach, it may not, the problem may not necessarily be that they're overweight. The problem is that they are suffering the consequences of being overweight. They're low energy, aches and pains, bad health symptoms, things like that. But at the end of the day, it's the state of mind that they're in, what is happening in their life that they need to solve, that they need to fix. Even if you're a furniture builder, if you're building chairs, then the problem is that somebody needs a place to sit, right? So it doesn't have to be, this deep stuff. It can be pretty straightforward as well. So the psychographics and the demographics are all part of defining who your target market is. If you've already been, you're kind of established, but you still feel like you're floating and not really going in much of a direction, a good tip for you to do then is to kind of list all of your existing and past clients and drill down on them. Who were your ideal clients that you worked with? Like especially if you're in the service industry, who are the ones that, you just got a lot of joy out of working with them? They were happy to pay. They were more than willing to pay your fees, whatever that was. They're telling other people about you. Like it was just a really positive connection. Those are your A clients. They are your ideal target market. So your goal to market your business is to find more of those people. So if you're already established in your business, you've kind of got a leg up already on helping you define who your target market is. Go from that nugget there and build upon that. Find more of that group of people. The third thing that we want to do is establish our brand positioning. And this is really important as well. You need to have a firm understanding of what it is that you want your business to be representing. How do you want to be perceived as? And this can be all over the map, and it's not as obvious as you might think either. So you really need to understand, what do you want people to think of you or say about you and your business when you're not around? What are they saying about you behind your back? And of course, we want to go with the positive, right? So that's your brand positioning. That's how you're coming across to people. Do you want to be known as the fun and fancy free kind of a person, or more of the ultimate professional? Or maybe you want to be known as somebody who's very creative, or versus very systematic, and you're the problem solver. And then on a different end of that too, you also want to be thinking about, okay, do I want to be known as reasonably priced, low cost, or do I want to be known more as the high end, higher priced, higher value, higher end? Those kinds of things you need to decide now, so that everything that you do from your marketing plan, all your branding and your logo, your website, all of the kind of marketing stuff that you do will represent that essence that you want to portray. Now, I'll give you a little insider here. We're right now here at eVision Media, we're in the process of redesigning our website. It's been, heaven forbid, 5 years since we did our website. It's getting old and tired. And so what I did was, before I even began to tell the team about, okay, this is what we're going to do, and I start to delegate everybody with their specific tasks on creating a new website for us, I went back to the basics, and I went back and looked at my old plans and our old position statements and things that I hadn't actually looked at for a while. And it all came back to me, and it was a huge reminder for me that our brand positioning is based on trust. Everything that we do is in relationship to the word trust. Our clients trust us to deliver our products on time and with excellent quality and with fast turnaround. They trust us to be fair and reasonable. They trust me to share information that is reasonable and knowledgeable and accurate. And so I highly recommend that you do that too. Get a really solid understanding of what your brand positioning is. Oh, and yeah, Daniel says, and we answer our phones and emails too. Yes, yes, we do. That's part of the trust, right? They trust us to be attentive. Our tagline is, we listen, we respond, and we care. And that to me is just like that's the essence of our brand of just, it's so important to me that people get that sense about us, is that, they can trust that we know what we're doing. We've been in this industry for 20 years, and they can trust that they're going to get a good job from us and good results. So in your position statement, you want to address what it is that you do, who it is that you work with, and then make sure that you really end that with a very positive statement of what kind of results people would get as a result of either working with you or using your product. By the way, I work with a lot of our clients as a mentor with them to help them figure out that position statement and figure out who their target market is and what their brand positioning is. So if you're at a loss, it's easy enough for me to tell you what you have to do, but maybe it's not so easy for you to figure it out and understand, what to put into that. So give me a call, let me know, and let me see if let's see if my working with you as a mentor can benefit you and escalate your business. So then once you've got all of that fun stuff put together, then you want to do a competitive analysis. Now, I alluded to this at the beginning. You do need to know who your competitors are. Do a really thorough research on this. Make sure that you do lots of Google searches and ask around, find out who else is offering something at least that is similar to you. And one thing that to also keep in mind is to understand that it may not be exactly what you offer, but think in terms of, okay, let's go back to to somebody who needs to lose weight because they are unhealthy. There's more than one avenue for them to pursue to fix that problem that challenge that they're having, right? So if you're a weight loss coach, that would be one avenue for them to pursue, but they also might go to the gym, they might go to their practitioner, their doctor, they might, go to other weight loss clinics and things like that. So, if you are the coach, you have to keep in mind that they have those other options. So technically those are competitors as well. And so what you want to do with that is, once you have this list of all of your potential and direct competitors, then you need to figure out how to differentiate yourself from them. Why should they choose you over them? Why should they choose a health coach as opposed to just going to a weight loss clinic? You need to really, really, truly understand what that difference is, because that's your differentiator. That's your unique selling position. That's what's going to stand you apart from them going, okay, eeny, meeny, miny, mo. And then they go, oh, obviously that's the choice. That's where I need to go, to that weight loss coach. It's fine to have competitors. We're in a industry, we're in a world right now where not having a competitor is pretty obsolete. It's not going to happen. So you need to figure out, okay, what makes me different from those competitors? And then aside from, just different service you're offering. Like for us, our competitive advantage is our customer service. Like what Daniel says, we answer our phones and we respond immediately. We have quick turnarounds and we offer pretty, very good quality product. And so that's our differentiator from the myriad of other web developers that are out there and online marketers who are, maybe they just don't know what we have garnered over 20 years of being in this industry. But other differentiators could be price point. Like I said before, are you going to go after the low cost price point or the high value? So is price going to be a differentiator? Are you going to provide better service, like what I was just mentioning? What other things that can you think about that can differentiate you from your competitors? So that's basically your competitor analysis, a really simplistic version of it, but an important part of that competitor analysis is to understand how can you differentiate yourself, because that's all part of your marketing plan. And then it's not until then do you actually get into the marketing strategy part of things. You have to do that preliminary work first before you figure out your strategy. Now, as part of your strategy is concerned, you want to make sure you have clear goals set up. What are your goals? What's your 5-year plan? What's your 2-year plan? What's your 1-year plan? What's your 6-month plan? What are all of the goals at those different levels? What do you want to have seen happen by the time 5 years is from now? How many clients do you want to have? How much income do you want to have? How much money in the bank do you want to have? Net income, those kinds of things. So you need to set very clear objectives. If you don't know what it is that you're striving to achieve, then how can you know that you've achieved it? How can you know what you need to do in order to achieve it? So be very, very specific on that, on what those goals look like. And then from there, you need to figure out what your budget is. What can you put into your marketing budget on a month-to-month, year-to-year basis that will help you fulfill those goals? You're running a business here, people. You have to be prepared to spend some money in order to market your business. If you don't market your business, then you are going to struggle. It's going to be a very long, challenging, frustrating process for you if you're not willing to do any kind of investment in your business and in your marketing. And then so once you've figured out what your plan is and what your goals are and what budget you have, then you want to go back to that ideal client analysis that you did and figure out, okay, where can I get in front of these people? Don't waste your time if they're not there. How can I get myself in front of these people, online or offline? Write a list of what their hobbies are. Where do they hang out? What social media channels do they use? All of those kinds of things, because that's where you want to focus, right? Otherwise, you're wasting your time. And then, then you can kind of decide, okay, what marketing strategies do I actually want to pursue? Now, I'm a fan of pursuing more than just one strategy. You really do, in order to kind of fast track what you're doing, you do want to have more than just one thing happening. And usually I split that in two. One is your paid strategies, and one is your non-paid strategies, which is more your personal efforts. So your paid strategies would be your ads, like Google ads, Facebook ads, even offline marketing ads, like newspaper ads and radio ads, things like that. So that's your direct advertising campaign. You should have some budget for that. And the reason for that is that's going to get you fast results. The ads are going to be targeted specifically for your target market who's looking for what you have to offer. And they're sending them to your website to, explore more and find out more about you. So that's a direct route on getting you more business. And then the indirect route, which is just as important, is more of the relationship marketing part of things. So this is where your social media marketing comes into play. Pick which social media channel that you know your target market is going to be at and focus on there. Develop relationships on there. And then you've got your content marketing. So blogging, writing articles and distributing those articles across all these different channels where you know your target market will find you. That's, expanding your brand reach and getting more and more eyeballs to know and find out about you. And then you can even develop partnerships or even think about some kind of an influencer marketing campaign. Now, I'm not talking about becoming the next Kardashian here, although that would be kind of fun, wouldn't it? But, think in terms of how can you be an influencer and get in front of crowds. So doing workshops and doing talks and speeches and things like that. Writing a book could even be a part of an influencer campaign where you are presenting yourself as an expert in your industry and getting in front of people in a weird way. What I'm doing right now is kind of an influencer campaign, is it not? Where I am showcasing my expertise to my audience. And thank you so much for showing up. I so appreciate you being here. And if you have any questions at all about what I'm talking about, for a marketing plan, please go ahead and leave a comment and I'd be happy to answer. So one of the things that you definitely want to do though, like I know I said, you want to kind of put your finger in all the pieces of the pie, but if you don't have a marketing team like us to help you with that kind of stuff, then just start with one thing. Just focus on one particular ideal client and one source of lead generator for that client, that group of clients, one lead magnet, something that will get people into your list, and then nurture those leads. Focus on that one thing. Don't overwhelm yourself by thinking that you have to do this and somebody told me I had to do that, and somebody just told me I had to do this and that, and next thing you know, you're overwhelmed enough into stagnant. You're not doing anything because it's just overwhelming. The sixth thing that you want to work on is your budget. And you need to figure out your yearly budget and your monthly budget. You need to figure out what your sales expectations are. What kind of fees and prices are you going to be charging? What is the market going to bear? What is it that you're worth? And that's all part of that budgeting process, right? And then you need to figure out your expenses. What's the production and operations and marketing costs that you're going to have to bear? There's always costs to every business. Write that down. Know what your costs are. If you need financing, pursue financing. If you are trying to run a business, don't try to run a business with $0 in your bank account. It's going to be such a frustrating thing for you to do. So figure out, how can I get some money? Loans. There's lots of business bankings. Get a part-time job if you're not working right now. And do something in order to be able to finance your business. And then the final thing, the seventh thing to do, is analyze. There's no point in doing any kind of marketing unless you are looking at your stats and analyzing and testing and tweaking and adjusting depending on what kind of results you're getting. So use the Google Analytics. That's what we do. We, definitely want to use Google Analytics to see what the stats are looking like. Use your social media insights to find out what's working, what's not working. Test and tweak, and keep testing and tweaking until it's working. And then stop doing what's not working, right? That whole process might take you a year to figure out. And you're going to have failures. You're definitely going to do something and then go, well, that was a flop, but at least you now know not to do it again. Oh, and Daniel says, and it does not have to be a fortune spend, but doing nothing will get you nothing. And that is so true. Doing nothing at all, not having your marketing plan in place at all, and not doing any kind of marketing at all is not going to get you any results. Just because you have a website up doesn't mean suddenly thousands of people are going to be flocking to it and your phone is going to be ringing off the hook. That's fantasy land. That doesn't happen. And so before you blame your web developer that you're not getting any sales, take a look and see what you're actually doing from that marketing perspective first. And then then call us, because, your website is actually extremely important as a part of your marketing plan. You need to make sure that it is doing everything that I just talked about, your brand positioning and your voice and your messaging, and making sure that those conversions are clear and what you do is clear and who you work with is clear. So your website is vitally important and worth that investment on getting it done professionally and correctly so that you're not wasting your time. As I said, this is more of a streamlined version of a marketing plan. More could be added to it, of course. There's much more traditional marketing plans that include things like SWOT analysis and things like that. But this at least will get you started, get you going, get you thinking about what your goals are and how you're going to achieve them, right? So start with this. This is the fundamentals of what you can do. And I promise your path will be much easier once you know what that plan is, once you have that roadmap in place. So that's it for today's e-tip. If you have any questions at all while you're watching this rebroadcast, go ahead and leave the comments. Leave your comment in the comment section and I'd be happy to answer. And if you need any help at all with your marketing plan, give us a call. Let us know. That's what we do. That's what my passion is helping people with their marketing and getting their business out there and giving them the ability to spread their gifts to the world and do what they're passionate about without having to learn how to do it all themselves. So I so appreciate you being here today. Thanks so much for joining me, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye for now.